What up, peeps? It's your girl, Nash. Come back to Real Takes. Well, it's the time, guys. It's reaction time, and this is to She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. This will be for episode 7, titled The Retreat. Now, before we jump into that, just a quick recap on episode 6. I did enjoy that one. Jen going to a friend's wedding, being a part of the friend's wedding, excuse me, as one of the bridesmaids. Now, with that, of course, she was dealing with a lot of, little extra little shenanigans, of course, with Titania showing up, claiming she's there as, with one of the friends who's, a groomsman, and she's on a date with him. I'm like, okay, you just all of a sudden seriously start dating somebody who has been, like, girl, doing the most. And eventually you see what happens when she really wants to get her fight on. She's still kind of, a little sourpuss because she lost her bid for keeping the trademark of She-Hulk. Honestly, honey, it wasn't yours. You were trying to find a way because you got your butt whooped back in, the first episode in court. So it's like, whatever. But I'm curious, just everything that's going to keep, doing this. Because now it just looks like that's going to be She-Hulk, one of her, as they say, probably adversary all the time, villain, whatever. We always have one of this type of things where you deal with certain particular characters who have one particular villain who's always a constant pain in the you-know-what. So that's where she lies at now. Now, in regards to her, her friend, all that wedding's, funny. She's drunk. At first she didn't want She-Hulk, to be there at all. Just wanted Jen to be herself. And she was, to an extent. I will say this. It was just nice, seeing her just have a little fun, get a little drunk. And then she meets this guy. Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't think I really brought this up when I was doing my initial, reaction at the end. But I wonder about him. I just, just so randomly, whatever. But he said he's friends with the groom. He's with the groom. I'm like, okay. So possibly I could be reading too much into this. I still have my thoughts of who else could be involved. You see what happens when her, her girlfriend, calls her to tell her about that, particular site where it's a lot of memes and her things and, her death threats and things of that nature. Then you see her with that guy, eating some fries. She's being pretty much watched, surveillanced. And you see they're putting together some sort of, kind of needle that's definitely more able to penetrate more so than the other one when those 4 guys tried to, beat her up, whatever, and all that. So I'm curious who is behind this. I will say this. I'm just going to say who I keep really going back to is one of the guys she wanted to date who was, kind of sizing up, talking about she's a great specimen. This. I don't know what the wording kind of flags me a little bit, but I could be off. It's a possibility, but I wonder if it's somebody you would not think, if somebody through her business or company who might be doing something on the side. You never know. I'm hoping eventually we will get a reveal. I don't know if it's going to be in this episode. This might be the last episode, so we'll have to see. So you know what? With that said, let's go ahead and just jump into it. I'll say the rest of my thoughts with you guys.
On that intelligentsia site?
What? No, I don't care what a bunch of losers say about me online. Can't even say it to my face because they know they get Hulk smashed.
Why can't you just text me back? Why is that so hard? There's literally no reason in this day and age to not respond to a text. He could be in a meeting or at the...
Oh. Girl. I feel you, Miss Piggy.
An alert on Blonsky's inhibitor.
Oh, did he turn into the abomination?
We don't know, so... I gotta go up to that wackadoo ranch at Hayes.
I'm not interrupting your weekend plans, am I?
No, not at all. Nope, I will see you there.
Oh, that's great.
Definitely malfunctioning. Don't know why. Hey, do you think maybe you might have jostled it, or...
Princess Silk Feather was stuck.
Your favorite chicken?
Yeah. Favorite chicken. Great.
Yeah. Well, I have recalibrated your inhibitor, and she is good to go. So, stay away from the electric fence.
Sunday on this expedition, so I'm gonna get moving.
Hey!
El Águila. And before you make assumptions, no, I am not a matador. That would make the two of us fighting pretty cliche. No?
Destroyed. I can't drive this. How am I supposed to go home now?
You know, sometimes life presents a teacher when there's a lesson to be learned. So what do you say? Pick you up in 20?
I'm not sweating it out in a year today. I need to get some work done. So if you could get me a desk and some Wi-Fi.
It's a bit of a hard ask. Really, you're not in a teachable mood right now, and I do respect that. So, be around if you need me.
Yeah. I don't want to be judged, I just want to be me.
This is Porcupine. He's a porcupine. And Saracen thinks he's a vampire.
Wow, this is quite a group.
You're welcome to join. Saracen.
Manbull and El Aguila have been spending a lot of time together. I'm feeling like maybe it's not healthy.
Unhealthy. I knew what I called that too.
I'm sorry.
Sorry I'm late. I lost track of time in the yurt.
No way. That guy's here? You probably don't even remember who he is. Tell me they previously on him. No, I don't care.
You're gonna screw around, showing off your powers.
That's
You better
right.
be able to back it up.
Oh, hey!
She is welcome to the circle, but she's got to get her own chair.
Okay.
I'd love to work through our issues if you'll let me.
Oh, you attacked a woman 4-1. You absolutely were super villains.
I hear you, Jen, and I take radical accountability for my actions, and I'm very, very sorry.
And I'm fine. What?
You are not fine. Look at you flying into a rage, throwing people across the room.
Into perfectly stacked chairs.
Everyone else has shared, so you are glued to that thing.
I met a guy, Josh, at a wedding. We went on a few dates and I thought it was going great. And then I haven't heard from him.
So, how many dates?
3.
Well, what was the last thing you texted her?
That was fun. I can't stop smiling.
I think that we have to start considering the very real possibility that you were ghosted.
Or he went into her blood.
No, not that.
Man, stop talking about blood.
You know in high school that friend that you have that's like, like cooler than you are, like more attractive and athletic, and they get all the attention from everyone? You think life would be so much easier if I were that person. And I can turn into that person anytime I want to. Like if I was just Jen, would the same guys who like She-Hulk stick around for Jen? Because some of them don't. So like I meet this guy who actually likes Jen, and that just felt good to know that, you know? And then he ghosts me and it sucks.
All right, screw this guy. Where does he live?
Let's kill him. That's right, he's got to die.
Whoa, big man, please.
No, Manbull is correct. Josh has made an enemy of this entire group. Tonight!
Well, for one thing, I'd say you can't control what other people do.
Yes,
It hurts when someone rejects us. Because it reminds us of the times we reject ourselves.
Maybe there's a group of guys right here who love to spend time with Jen right now.
Oh man, how many hours a day have you been wearing that mask?
Ooh.
Wait, my Ash,
No.
could you just leave the suit on and until we can get it dry cleaned?
Delete it.
Okay.
I will never forget any of you, honestly.
Well, we made this for you.
Oh, bye, Jen. We love Jen and She-Hulk.
Next time you think of Josh, remember, everyone we meet, no matter how much they hurt you, is a lesson learned.
Yes, it is.
Feel free to come again.
Oh, that's how you get Wi-Fi. Come on.
You call me.
God. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Alright, you guys, I really enjoyed this episode. This one was really good. I will say, in regards to flesh out, you know, two different things, us getting a little bit more of who could possibly be behind trying to get a sample of Jen's blood. Seeing that it looks like Josh definitely might be the culprit, or he could be working for whoever the culprit is. But he got close enough to her where it was through the wedding of her friend. Now, granted, I would have never realized, really thinking it was him, because he's meeting her, he's, you know, friends with the groom, whatever, she's friends with the, you know, the bride, nothing out of ordinary there. And then you see them kind of, you know, talking about all that. He's talking about he enjoys her, he really likes just her, nothing to do with She-Hulk or whatever. Doesn't even bring up the fact that he really needs to see it. Now, granted, he did see her when she whooped that tail. Titania's like, you know, it's all good. And then of course I'm, you know, sharing some fries and having a moment, and you see that some sort of surveillance where they're watching them, and you see that big syringe. So I'm not thinking anything of it. Now to see that she was taking these dates, doing her thing, and then, you know, they eventually do hook up, and then she doesn't hear from him. Now you're gonna have those moments where you're like, okay, I respond back, whatever and all, and you're still not hearing nothing, all that. Straight ghosted. Nothing. He pretty much got what he wanted, hence the ending of the episode. And I'm just like, wow. And then the fact that I thought just was really tacky is the fact that he could have just took what he needed to take from her phone, and then you take a picture of her while she's nude in her bed. I'm just like, that, oh God, oh, I really hope that they reveal who it is and she finds him so he can be dealt with. Because I'm not here for that crap. That just disgusted me on a whole nother level with the picture of her, you know, just, oh, I don't like that. Needless to say, when she eventually goes to Blonsky to find out what's going on with his, you know, ankle monitor, whatever, and meets the guy, you see he's at some sort of retreat, which is where we are. We don't see the women, his wife, so he's pretty much there, you know, guiding and counseling some other individuals, where she ends up having to deal with a situation with a couple of them missing her car, which forced her to stay there. And with that, she comes into a area where they're actually having some sort of session. And at first she doesn't want any part of it, but then eventually she finds her way into it, because one guy who happens to be there is a guy who was one of the four who tried to pretty much, you know, hurt her when they were trying to stick a syringe in her when she was She-Hulk, whatever and all that. So we got to see, of course, flashback, and he admits what he did wrong. I will say this, I really wished that he would at least confided, like, you know, I'm sorry what I did, you know, so I was, you know, somebody was trying to do this, whatever and all, and then she could have found out a little bit more. But that's wishful thinking. Definitely going to not play out that way for us to finally get a real reveal. I don't think Josh is at the helm. I think Josh works for whoever is at the helm for that. Hence what he got and what he sent and whatever, probably with the photo, you know, that's what I'm thinking. But I will say, I like how Jen eventually talks within the group, and she lets her know how she feels, how she, you know, everybody, you know, I love how she used a scenario of how you feel when you're in, you know, school, whatever and all that, and, you know, the pretty girl, this girl and all that, and that's the one that gets all the attention, and then it's, you consider like it's just you, and then when she's what you would think, you know, she or whatever and all that, and then you just want to have someone who likes you for you, not just to be all this, you know, this particular individual, the Hulk. But then she's like, is it cheating because it's not really me, they're getting a side of me, you know? So it's her feelings, you know, her feelings of feeling conflicted and all this, and feeling a certain way. She can't always be herself, and she wants to be herself. When she's being herself with someone, and then you see what happens, none of this. So it's like, you know, how to gather that. But with that situation, it's sad, because unbeknownst to her, it's not really that situation in itself. That was this person, you know, creating this, and now has her second guessing herself. And here we are dealing with whatever he's doing, but now he's left her to feel a certain way, thinking, okay, you know, she over there like whatever, but they're like, you know, don't want the gym, but now this guy wanted the gym, but now he doesn't want the gym. It's just like, yeah, she's just like one of the guys said, you know, maybe Jen needs to, you know, deal with, you know, giving that time to Jen, you know, finding Jen, whatever and all that, and then having that little, you know, that moment and all that. And I think it did, you know, find a way to make her feel a certain way, where in the end she went from She-Hulk back to Jen, and those words, you know, a little bit of words of wisdom, you know, helped her to see a little bit more, whatever. And I like how they like deleted. And I'm glad they were all men to kind of just say that, because sometimes you just need to, if you know a guy who's a good dear friend, you know, be honest. Is this what he's doing? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay. I ain't got time to be using no extra mind, you know, games trying to figure this out, whatever and all that. But I like when Blonsky was like, you know, when certain things like this happen and all that, you know, sometimes it is a lesson. And that is so damn true when you're dealing with individuals or even situations. But in this instance, a person, when those things happen, there's always a lesson. And sometimes it hurts, but it needs to be taught. And then you find a way to work through it and move on. So I'm really looking forward to, I'm assuming, I don't know how many episodes we really have, if maybe it might be one more or whatever. I hope she really finds out whoever is behind, you know, trying to get her blood, whatever, eventually when that becomes, you know, in regards to the site, that might, you know, go into that. I really hope she ends up finding out a part that Josh played in and he gets exposed so she can, deal with that brother. She became so vulnerable, liked you, put walls down, and totally took advantage. So yeah, I look forward to him getting his moment. And not in a good way. So with that said, you guys, comment below. Let me know what you think. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next reaction. You guys take care.